Yeah, so I'm Stephanie Soames, and I'll just give you guys a little background of who I am. So I have a bachelor's of science in exercise science. I won't tell you when I graduated because I'm going to make myself sound really old. And then I went to physical therapy school, so I have a master's in physical therapy, and then I have a master's in traditional Chinese medicine. So I kind of have the Western and the Eastern background, which is really nice to have. So basically what I want to talk about is the acupuncture part of it and what you can do acupuncture-wise. So basically, let's say you guys set up an appointment with me. The initial consultation's an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how much we talk. We get a whole background. We ask questions about everything to get an idea of, is your weight loss, coming from, are you not digesting food properly? Are your hormones off? There's a myriad of things that could be going on. So basically, we talk about all of that and figure out how best to treat you. Get a Chinese medical diagnosis as opposed to, like, I'm not digesting my food properly or something like that. So we give you a Chinese medical diagnosis and we treat according to that. So that's the basics of it. And about how acupuncture works for weight loss, basically there's, maybe Rusty has already shared this, but they call them obesity hormones, which there's two of them. There's ghrelin and leptin. And basically what acupuncture does is it increases your ghrelin levels, which helps you digest food and do all that, and decreases your leptin levels. So that's one way it works. It also helps with stress. Some people are stress eaters, and some people just don't digest properly because of stress. So we can help with that. We can also help with your hormone levels kind of across the board. It works on that. It works on, I wrote a bunch of stuff down so I wouldn't forget. And we also work on the endocrine. You guys are all female, so I can talk about ovaries, stuff like that. But we can help with all that as well. So, and number of treatments, we usually do 10. And so, which is really nice, we have a package of 10 treatments. And you do them over usually twice a week for 5 weeks.
How long is the treatment, did you say?
The treatment in and of itself is 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
I schedule everything for an hour, except the initial consultation usually takes a little bit longer. And the actual treatment takes 30 to 40 minutes.
But then you can just lay there.
I know, it actually feels really good. And then we always do ear points and not with needles, we use little ear seeds with weight loss.
What are ear seeds?
They look like little tiny BBs, basically. They call them seeds because they used to literally use Vicaria seeds, but they don't stay. We can't keep them as long, so we just use little BBs and put them. They stick on the ear. There's a little round, sticky thing that sticks on the ear, and you leave them in for 3 to 5 days. And let's say somebody overeats and they're constantly wanting to eat all the time. There's a hunger point that they can stimulate. There's a mouth point that they can stimulate. And the thought process is when you stimulate it, it basically keeps the body from wanting to eat.
Oh, because it's already stimulated. Okay.
Because you're stimulating it, right. So, those oral people that have to constantly have stuff in their mouth, you just stimulate the mouth point, and it just satiates the need to have something in your mouth. So, do you guys have other questions?
After the 10 sessions, how long does something like that stay with you? I mean, how often do you have to repeat it?
So basically what you do is you come in, maybe, it depends. Let me start with that. So let's say your goal is to lose 10 pounds. Okay, that's generally with what Rusty's been doing, what Jessica's been doing with you guys. Usually we do that 10 sessions within that 5-week period. And then what we do is do like once a month for a few sessions. And then you want to do, so seasonally, so you do 4 a year after that. Because what happens is the seasons change, which is what you're experiencing with your allergies. The seasons change, and what we're trying to do is balance the system. So you do it once a quarter, or once a, yeah, it's a quarter. I'm like, how many months are there in here? So that's what you do. But if let's say, for example, if somebody's a chronic overeater, we see them every day for a week, and then we go like every other day the next week, and then twice a week, and then continue like that. Because overeating's a harder one to treat actually, because you're trying to keep them from eating, basically. So, do you guys have other questions?
What is acupuncture? Do you only go to the ears, or do you?
No, we also
other
do body
things
points.
For different.
Yeah,
what-
body points.
What actually happens?
So
Like you're poking a nerve, and that nerve tells your brain to do
no,
something?
we're just using an
or-
acupuncture point. So there's different points that regulate different parts of the body and different hormones. So we might do. I do this on everybody. So I do a point in the foot and a point in the hand that gets the whole energy and blood flow circulating through your system to help get things moving, which also helps your digestive system. So we use needles, and again, I can't say what needles you would need compared to what you would need, because it depends on what your diagnosis would be, so to speak. I'm trying to think of a good example. Can't necessarily think of a good one. Let's menopause. So women will oftentimes gain weight during menopause because their hormones and everything are off. So what we do is we treat, what happens is they have heat in their system, so we treat to get rid of the heat and balance it out. There's the yin and the yang. So yang is heat, yin is cold, for lack of a better word. So what happens is they become yin deficient. So they're hot, they're sweating at night, which is supposed to be yin time, and it becomes yang time for them. So what we're doing is balancing that for them to balance their hormones so that they're not sweating and they're not basically gaining weight. So that's one way to do it. So it's, again, people are always like, well, what points do you use? Well, it depends. We use the same ear points most of the time. So I do the combination of the two.
So Jessica was saying last week that you had said something like it's not like the cure or the magic bullet or something, and that other work had to be done at the same time.
Right, which
So
is
I
what
just-
these guys have been,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, they've been doing, I shouldn't say hopefully, because they have been doing with you guys. You can't do, if you just do acupuncture and your diet stays the same,
Right.
I'll see you till the cows come home and you can pay me all your money, but it's, it's not gonna help. So, and we do talk some dietary stuff. So again, let's go back to the heat. Let's say there's heat in your system. We give you dietary recommendations that include foods that are energetically cooling, just to clear the heat out of your system.
Okay.
So people are like, oh, I'm gonna have an ice cold drink. No, that messes with your digestion. So we talk about stuff like that too.
Okay.
So we get
What
a
is
little.
the cost for the 10 sessions?
So the initial, what is it here, Jessica? 85 for the initial and 70 for follow-ups, but then you get 15% off for the 10. So that's 10. I just do it off the whole thing because you only really need about 10 sessions. I tell people if they ask, well, I'm just going to do acupuncture. I said, perfect. Close your mouth. Let me stick needles through your lips. It works like a charm. But yeah, obviously that's a joke. But yeah, so I mean, if you guys have like questions about yourself, you can always call me. I'd be happy to talk to you guys about it. Because here's one thing with weight loss. People go, I'm on this strict diet and I'm exercising and I lost whatever amount of weight and I want to lose 10 to 15 pounds more and I can't lose it. That's a part of where we come in, because acupuncture can be very helpful for it.
Okay.
So